What's up, guys? Welcome back to the 956 Opposition. Wow, this is like take 3 already, bro. Y'all not gonna believe this. I recorded 2 prior episodes already. Nothing but technical difficulties. I don't know, man. Things happen, but hey, let's keep rolling with it. The 2 topics today we are going to cover: the Israel-Iran war, where are we at right now? And the Los Angeles riots, the aftermath. We're going to see what happened, what's going on now. Pretty much nothing's going on. The military went in there, kicked out some ass. Just like the military just kicked some ass all with the sky. I mean, kick some ass from the sky over there in Iran. I don't know, y'all pretty much heard by now, but we have joined the war via sky campaigns, which means we're doing airstrikes. We are not necessarily deploying foot soldiers. But I did say I voted for Trump for no wars, and this is what he's doing. So do I feel a little bit betrayed? Do I feel a little stupid right now? Of course. I voted for this guy. But you know what? There's one thing that's important to remember. Iran has been saying death to America for like years, death to Israel for even longer than that. These crazy Islamic jihadist religious bastards, bro, whatever they are, I don't care. I'm a crusader to my heart, bro. I will slay these guys. I do not like them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But hey, I do not have like for anybody who feels like their religion is above other religions and they have to wipe out one specific race of people like they're Nazis. I don't have with that, and that's personally why I do not like them. So, other than personal topics, those are the 2 things we're going to cover. So let's go dive down real quick. What has Putin said? Because everybody is thinking one thing. What if this turns into World War III? Putin jumps in and there's teams and it's the Allied powers versus the Axis powers all over again. You know, it's bad guys versus good guys in the world. I don't think this is going to happen, guys. And I'm going to tell you real quick, I don't think why it's going to happen is because Ukraine versus Russia is still ongoing. Europe is funding Ukraine. They're constantly giving them military equipment. Just because we stopped funding Ukraine doesn't mean Ukraine didn't stop fighting over there with Russia. No, UK, Europe, Germany, all those other countries, they're still scared that Russia's going to go into there and get them next because Ukraine is the only thing stopping Russia from spreading more into Europe. So their ideology is, okay, well, since the USA doesn't want to help us anymore, we're just going to go help we're going to go fund them themselves. So now Europe is pumping money and military equipment into Ukraine, and there's kind of like a standoff going on over there right now. So the idea that Putin is going to spend even more money, more resources, more manpower on just another war, which would critically ruin his defense for his own country. When you have China right below him, you have North Korea on the other side, you have all these other terrorist-like regimes or communist parties that could care less for Russia, because at the end of the day, a communist government only cares for a communist government. They don't care necessarily for the people. It's just masquerading as we care about the people. So the idea that they're all just going to help each other right away as easily as Europe does for the UK or Israel does with Europe does with UK. What am I saying, bro? Like, as Europe does with Canada or Australia or like America with Israel. You know, there's no prior bond already there. It's just like an alliance, really. An alliance in case things go real bad and they try to gang up on us. We have this alliance. But that's not what's happening. In this case, Iran has been fighting with Israel, and this has been generational wars. This has been going on longer than even the world wars, I believe. There's just always been world war going on in the Middle East, specific region of the world. So nobody really wants to touch that stuff anymore. And then the other thing you have to understand is nobody really likes terrorists, and everybody knows the Iranian regime is terroristic. They created all the terrorist groups that are pretty much around the world doing bombings and pointing fingers at people and just sabotaging crap. And nobody likes that, not even Russia. Russia had their own terrorist event recently, and it was done by some pretty psychotic Ukrainian jihadis. What do you know? It's also a terrorist. These people are all the same, at the end of the day. They're willing to go the extra mile to hurt civilians and do extreme damage in public, which is off the table in any military, even in Russia's military. Russia is not a terroristic regime. They are a communist regime. And they have rules. They're a little bit more sophisticated. They're not barbarians like over there in the Middle East. Like, oh, we get a missile and all we got to do is fire it into Israel. Even though you're firing hundreds and hundreds of missiles into Israel and only like one or two of them hits every 5 hours, or yeah, pretty much like 5 or 2 hours, because of that Iron Dome thing that Israel has. Advanced technology defeats barbarism at all time, at any time. Advanced technology will always beat barbaric behavior. And Iran is just a barbaric nation. No offense to the Iranians who actually want to make peace and the Muslims. Believe it or not, there are some Muslims out there that want to make peace. I have to hold back my aggression towards the very, I would say, very failing religion of Islam. It's a very failed religion. It has a lot of flaws. A lot of its history. If you actually read the Quran, you read the tales of Muhammad, you're gonna see a lot of messed up stuff about these people and why you shouldn't even follow that religion. But I gotta hold back my own personal view there. I'm very fair with people. I believe there are some Muslims out there that want to make peace. We have to consider that there are some innocents in there in Iran. There is some innocence in there in Iran, in those people. And we have to be careful, which is good why we have advanced technology, because with that, Israel and America are able to deliver these sophisticated, precise attacks on nuclear sites. The only unfortunate thing is the nuclear sites are located within nearby civilian territories, which just sucks, because that's one thing that terroristic regimes have always done, is they don't care about civilians. They don't care about innocent people. They just want to get their point across, or they want to bully their way into whatever government. And so they'll put their military equipment and stuff near civilians as somewhat of a toxic edge, an edge that normal military guys like the U.S. Army and Marines, they abide by rules and Geneva Convention type stuff. Don't kill civilians. Don't do these certain things. Civilians have nothing to do with war. They're just people trying to go about their life. You shouldn't do that. Terrorist regimes don't understand that. They will get their own people killed, and they will not care. They'll just martyr them and say, "Oh, it was meant to happen in the name of Allah." Crazy, just crazy, absurd stuff. And so the idea that Putin wants to go and support this kind of behavior it's just unreal to me, guys. It's unreal to me. And
a short time ago, Russian President Vladimir Putin.
So let's just see real quick what Putin had to say. This is I believe he says this as we are about to drop the B-52 bombs, because we just did that over yesterday, I believe. We dropped Donald Trump authorized B-52 bombers to join the air raids over there in Iran and pretty much take out their nuclear sites, while Israel was taking out all the military capabilities, deployment capabilities. So now the Iranian military is just a bunch of sitting ducks really in their barracks. They'll have to get in some trucks, something in there from another country, in order to basically deploy themselves over to Israel to go start a war. Because they're not going to do it by air with the Iron Dome. Remember that, guys. The Iron Dome protects Israel from all those missiles and drones that are firing towards Israel. They have to deploy by foot now if they're going to do anything. But here's the thing. The Iranian regime just cut off all the internet because they don't want propaganda from their own people revolting against them. You have to remember that those innocent people that are against the Iranian regime government, they want to change their government. There's some people out there that do, believe it or not. There's some people out there that are like, I'm sick of this crap. I'm sick of being ruled by these crazy religious bastards. Believe it or not, bro, there used to be some Christians in Iran. Patrick Bet David, one of the guys who pretty much gives me a lot of inspiration to come out here and speak on all this and just voice out all this stuff. It's a hobby, really. and put some word out there and opinions for the rest of the world. That guy's Iranian. He's not even Muslim. He's a Christian. It's you wouldn't have guessed. And he's an Iranian that served in the American military. Don't judge a book by its cover. It's something I really got to remember. Sometimes I get real passionate in my posts about that. It's something I forget myself. I'm human. I'm a sinner. If you're a Christian, one thing, everybody's a sinner, man. Everybody makes mistakes. Sorry, God. But it's like, yeah, like that guy came over here to America because he wanted to get away from that same terroristic regime. He wanted to get his family away from that crap. It's bad. It's bad. He's seen a thing or two. He's what he calls a true believer. He went out there and he saw it for himself. And so now he's back over here with a message to give. That I respect a lot. So the idea that Putin wants to go and help these crazy guys who run off even their own people, that's true. We're not even talking about the executions that the Iranian government does to their own people if they so much as speak out against them. That's messed up. You're not going to get a lot of people on your side like that. You're just killing all the people that are trying to live with you. I'm just saying. So let's just get into it because I'm just blah, 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 blah.
The world could be heading toward World War III in this situation. Here's what he said.
It is disturbing. I am speaking without any irony, without any jokes. Of course, there is a lot of conflict potential. Directly.
You gotta give the guy credit. He looks like a badass all the time, dude. Putin knows how to speak. He knows how to be a leader. Man, I bet if he didn't have his moxie, his confidence, just his sure authority, I'm pretty sure his own people would overthrow him. But Putin has held it down for a long time, bro. Even though he's kind of a dictator.
Dmitry Peskov, who said, don't even think about killing Khamenei, that would be opening Pandora's box, and that he believed there would be an outpouring of support for the Iranian regime. Your thoughts on where this stands and Russia's bold talk, but not a lot of action on behalf of Iran?
Yeah, Martha, it's fascinating. We hadn't heard as much as we expected to from Russia until the last few days. But look, Russia is looking at one of its closest allies right now. Iran is part of that coalition between Russia, Iran, North Korea. And if Iran were to fall, and everyone's looking not just at the nuclear deal, but perhaps if it were to fall, that takes a big ally away from Russia, and they would do everything they can to try and shore them up. On top of that, we know that China is also really interested in having Iran on the table, and now we're seeing China planes flying into Iran, perhaps to pull people out, but also a real awareness of the 1.3 million barrels of
Yo, I know I'm blazing, but let's get conspiratorial right here for a quick sec. So Putin's not doing nothing. They just say it right now. Putin's just yo, man, it's not good, man. That's all Putin's saying. Man, it's not good, man. I mean, people are out there getting crazy, man, because he's too busy with the war still. Putin's that dude who's in the fight, and he's just man. Yeah, I don't know if y'all want to get in this fight, but it's bad. Putin's that guy right now. Man. But what we're hearing right now about these guys from China's flying some planes over Iranian territory. So what does that mean? It could mean a few things. It could mean that China, like I did mention earlier, China is the actual only reasonable threat. Next up on the list for Iranian-Israel conflict, World War III, whatever people want to call it. I'm just saying it's world at war, to be honest. But it could also be that China, as soon as Israel and Iran are done destroying, bombing that area, China's just gonna sweep in there and just be like, "Look, we have never attacked you. Us, the Chinese people, we have never attacked you, Muslims. How about you take our leadership?" I don't know if I can do this stick for long. And the Muslim guys are just gonna be like, "Well, these Israelis, these Americans, these Europeans, they all they do is they hate us. They bomb us. Chinese man good." And Chinese guy is gonna be like, "Yes. Yes, China man good. You join China. China your friend. China will suck you off." Oh God, man. Oh, I'm sorry, God. I can't help myself. Oh, but dude, no. You see where I'm going with this, guys. It's not looking good, man. Either China's gonna join the war and start bombing some people and start claiming, violation of Geneva Convention, USA. I gotta come in here and start smacking you around a little bit, which I don't think is gonna happen. I mean, the Iranian military, they're not much to defend right now. I think what they're gonna do is they're scanning out the area and they're just checking out what resources they can go in there and steal right now. I mean, you have to remember, these are uranium resource sites that were also bombed. And uranium is still valuable. So they probably want to go in there and collect a little, undercover type stuff. The idea of them just like helping out a bunch of terrorist regimes right now, it's just like, nah. Now, the other people that might join might be the other third world countries like Somalia and all that, those terrorist militias. We do not like white people. Those fuckers. Yeah, those guys probably might start hating on us because they're kind of friends with the extremist terrorists. They got this whole religious race thing going on against white people. It'll always be this thing.
Iran
So
to China. So you
that
suddenly have this coalition
that might happen too.
Iran, who are pushing back. So you suddenly have this coalition of assassinated, then that would lead to severe consequences. They are thinking about Putin as well. They do not want to send a message that you can get rid of the leader of a country because you are at war with them, because of course that is Putin's own spokesman when he says that. So those countries looking really, really close.
Okay. So the spokesman is like basically the spokesman for Russia, I guess, or whoever is basically saying like, well, you can't just go around assassinating leaders of countries. Okay, like if the Ayatollah is actually wanted by his country, everybody knows that this guy just bullied his way into the government. He kicked out the Crown Prince of Iran. Do you know the Crown Prince of Iran? Let's go check out the Crown Prince of Iran real quick. He recently spoke on this. He had to leave his country because Iran, this terrorist regime, kicked him out. They were going to kill him. So let's just go. Exile of Crown Prince, Iran. Little history lesson right here, guys. Well, right now it's going to give me latest news on what he's saying about it. Oh, man, the whole interview. Okay, let's just see what he says real quick, and then I'll show you how he was exiled real quick. But this guy. Okay, I watched a PBD podcast, Patrick McDavid, and they did an emergency podcast the other day, and they brought up this guy, and Vinny said something that was very important. I like Vinny a lot. He's an angry patriot guy, and I feel very patriotic because of him too, and upset. But he said something that I absolutely loved it, and it was very true. Why isn't this guy running his government? I mean, other than the fact that they tried to kill him. These terrorists were like, no, Iran is ours now. Get out. We do not like you. You don't have a beard like we do. That's pretty much, yeah, religious freaks. So they kick him out, this guy right here. And so he was never able to lead his country. I believe his father was the leader of the country at the time, and they killed him. But I think that's the story. We'll come back to it right now real quick, but let's just see what he says real quick. ABC News. I don't know if I want to watch this from ABC News. I just don't support BS news.
We'll come back to this story in a little bit
All
with
right.
former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. But first up, just a short while ago, I spoke with the exiled Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, and he made some very important commitments about the new democratic, nuclear-free Iran. Please take a listen. All right, folks, we welcome...
Hey, how recent was this? This was a day ago. What the heck? Okay, well, I think he's going to go back in there and want to control the country. But the thing is, he's kind of scared still because assassinations. But I guess in this video, he's a little bit more confident. It's just in the last video that we saw him, and the one that Vinny was talking about explaining, is that he sounded very afraid to get in there. But I guess he's getting some confidence.
Your Highness, thank you for doing this. I know you're a very busy chap. Let me just begin. We're a week into the Israeli-Iranian war. Israel has struck heavily. Who are helping Israel in this war. Let me just get your perspective. People on the ground, what I sometimes refer to as the Iranian street. Yourself, what kind of shape is that in?
Well, I thank you for having me on your program. The sentiment on the street is that, as you know, Iranians have always been committed to peace, and it pains me to see them suffer.
Khamenei is the leader of the current terroristic regime. The guy that you keep seeing on the news with the head in Iran, the leader of Iran, the one with the white beard, I think. He has a white beard. Glasses, fat dude, loser. Yeah, that's Khomeini. And this is the guy, the actual guy right here, who's supposed to be in charge. I don't even know how to make this full screen. Yeah, there you go. I think I could also... I don't got my zoom in feature. Are you serious? All right. Well, I guess we now use the zoom in feature, guys.
Intimidate people and put pressure on them. They see an occasion rising for them, and they hope that this regime's weakening would also help them have a real chance this time to bring about the change that they so much desire.
I mean, just to explore that, one of those key points you made, inside the regime, inside the Revolutionary Guard, overturn the regime, I would guess. And I wonder how deep that is. And a lot of Iranian collaborators when Israel first struck over a week ago. I mean, how deep do you think the penetration is?
Well, it's in Israel. I think the sentiments on both sides is that when we think of a future where we can have cordial relationship.
Okay, so basically what they're saying is they're having help from the military, from inside their own military, the Iranian military. Israel has had help in infiltration, bomb deployment, drone deployment, and of course, intel. So the actual overthrow of the government that everybody's hoping for that happens from the Iranian people that we mentioned, because not all Muslims are bad. There's some people that are innocent, some people that are tired of the government. There's actually a very high chance that their own military might swallow itself up, and with the regime with it. The regime just has a very large control of the military, but I think there's also a large amount of the military that wants to uphold that and get rid of it already. So we're currently on this day. We're in the process of seeing what's going on. We looked at a live video of Israel, and we didn't really see anything going on today. I honestly don't think after the B-52 strike that we just deployed the other day. I mean, yesterday. I honestly think Iran is just frozen in fear right now. They have no idea what to do. Israel's been taking out their military sites, their military deployment vehicles. We took out their nuclear sites. And I think Israel has been taking out their missile deployment systems. And so communications are off because Iran turned off the internet. I mean, not Iran, but the regime turned off the internet to counter the propaganda and possible revolt from their own people, because they don't want the people to go look on the internet and see that USA and Israel are winning, how bad we're winning, and how everything's okay over here. I'm sitting down okay. They've been saying death to America for 10 freaking years. I'm right here, 28 years old already, coming on 29. Haven't been deployed to the draft yet. Still waiting to get me a jihadi Nick right here. Oh, yeah, you're just gonna go to sleep forever, buddy. Oh, yeah. Die. Yeah, I got you. You. Yeah. yeah. There will be no killing of the Jews here. But yeah, I mean, I guess they're just gonna fold from the inside, like it's gonna eat itself up, man. That sucks, though. But it's completely understandable because that regime didn't give a crap about the people. You have to understand that there's some good people out there still that they care about the people and they just want their country to do good. They want to be able to have a movie. They want to be able to speak up and say the things that they want. They want to be able to take off their clothes because I mean they're very religious over there, so they have like clothing rules. They have to wear like robes and stuff. So there's like another thing. And I guess like people don't like it too. I mean, people over here in America, they are very serious about their style and everything. Me, not really. You don't see me cutting my hair much. I really don't care. I'm on myself a lot. But I mean, all the people around me in America, people from Mexico, dude, people from come over here in Mexico to shop brand product, care about their style. LGBTQ people, they're all rainbows and colors. They got their own freaking crazy freak styles. It's a mix of everything. Dude, you can't get that over there. You won't have that over there. Because they're just the regime, they rule everything via religion. We're religious, but it's like, we don't control your life. You still have free will, the free will that God gave you. America still believes in somewhat of that free will, even though they're spying on us all the time, we have cameras and all that. You got access, FBI. But I ain't no terrorist. And I sure as hell enjoy my life, and I will never commit suicide.
With the neighborhood, Iranians would embrace being friendly to Israel, to our Arab neighbors, unlike this regime. It's a completely different world. And that's why the Iranians know that this is not a war against them. This is a war to, first and foremost, devastate a regime that has been so brutal. And in fact, it plays in the direction that people always hope for, that maybe this will be something that will help them finally have a more equal playing field. And I believe that
Bro, I can't get enough of bro on the left, bro, the Fox News host. What is going on with dude's eyes, bro? He's just looking at him like, is this really the deal, dog? Is this really, you really telling me you got this? Because I don't know, man. I think these were the same people that interviewed him last time when he was like kind of unsure about going back in there because of the terrorist regime stuff, the threats. But he's kind of just
demonstrating
like
that
looking at him like,
you
sorry about that?
to throw a regime that is on the verge of collapse, yet again, another lifeline. I think the most important thing for Iranians that are paying the price.
I look forward to you joining us at our next investor webinar, where you can drill deep.
That understand how costly it could be to them, ultimately know that the regime will not be given them a second chance to survive, because this regime is not going to give up its pursuit of nuclear weapons, even if it means they have to purchase it elsewhere, because it's in nature of this regime. It cannot be trusted. At the end of the day, viable peace and the solution is to eliminate the threat once and for all. And this is the most important element when it comes to world diplomacy, looking at what is the ultimate solution to put an end to the nuclear threat and everything.
You know, I didn't think about that, but he also said purchasing nuclear weapons. What if the terrorist regime was to buy a nuclear bomb right now from China? I just do not see that happening. You know what? I'm gonna put on my conspiracy hat in like 10 seconds, but for reals. So, just give me a quick sec. What's more believable to me is the fact that, you know, the CIA has done some pretty shady stuff in the past and they've done some backstabby stuff. What's more believable to me is that somebody out there, some crypto hacker has billions and billions and billions and billions, trillions of dollars, hacked it over the years. They buy a nuclear missile, all built, all made, ready to go by a scientist privately made somewhere, and they sell it to Iran to deploy and just, you know, destroy Israel or destroy a large region of the area via nuclear fallout. That sounds more believable to me than Iran having the actual money and capability to go purchase a nuke right now. Like, I just think that they've used up everything on themselves selfishly in the regime and military equipment and just endless missiles, just buying missiles and drones and just shooting them into that Iron Dome at Israel that just kept shooting most of them down. Like, real waste of like a lot of money, billions, to be honest. I don't think they have the money to go buy a nuke. I just think they're done.
Red line. All of Iran's nuclearization must be destroyed. The uranium enrichment must be destroyed. Delivery systems must be destroyed. Everything must be destroyed. And that is likely to be the next step in this war, whether it's Israel or the U.S. and Israel or some combination. And I'm not smart enough to know, and the president hasn't made his, publicly at least, made his decision. Now, my question to you, sir, is have you spoken to President Trump about this next step to destroy all of Iran's nuclearization? What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, let me say that I agree with what the president wants or desires. And in fact, I don't think that Iran, a peaceful Iran, an Iran committed to peace, would pursue in any form or shape nuclear weapons or even, I would say, nuclear technology.
I think this guy's gonna go back and he'll take back his country and he'll be in government. The only thing you have to worry about those assassinations. There will be attempts. There will be jihadis, religious nutcases like Khomeini or whatever the crap his name is, the Ayatollah. There'll always be evil out there. He needs to understand that. He needs to understand that there will always be evil to challenge good. And the more he just sits there and cowers and doesn't do anything, doesn't take the reins of this country and steer it towards a path of good, the more advantageous evil will be in that area. Honest. Because they only get stronger over time. So it's just, if they're going to make a change, it needs to happen now. It can't happen in like 2 years. It has to happen as this regime falls. There needs to be confidence put in the people. People need to start revolting. That's basically what he's going to say. It's down to him, man. So let's just go back real quick to how the prince was exiled. Actually, no, bro. I'm gonna go to Google. I'm gonna Google it. Google it. YouTube is kind of like an extension of Google, but it's just gonna go and give you videos. All right. How was the Prince of Iran? The Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, was exiled after the collapse of the monarchy during the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Islamic Revolution. Religious revolution. That's probably where the Ayatollah made their move. He is the founder and the leader of the National Council of Iran, an exiled Iranian opposition group. Pahlavi is a prominent critic of Iran's Islamic Republic government. Time of his father's coronation. He is the founder. Well, that's a Wikipedia. I don't really trust Wikipedia, but let's just read what it says real quick. Has been called the poster boy of the democracy movement in Iran. A member of the Pahlavi dynasty, he is the eldest son of Farah Dabi and Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the last Shah of Iran. In February 2025, he was selected by various factions of the Iranian opposition as the leader of the opposition. Okay, so there is opposition in Iran towards the regime. And back in February, see, this wasn't even news. Why isn't this news? Probably because, evil forces controlling the internet, terrorist propaganda, trying to mask this up. But in February 25, Pahlavi, I'm probably butchering the crap out of this guy's name. Pahlavi was selected by various factions of the Iranian opposition as the leader of the opposition, as well as the leader of the future transitional government. This is in February 2025, guys. As, Israel and Hamas are fighting, and Iran is starting to fight with them. This is being planned already, apparently. Until the formation of the First National Assembly and the commencement of a democratic government through free elections. It is June 2025 already, guys. Who is writing this shit, dog? Who wrote this? Yo. Nice. I love this, man. So, yeah. That's a little history on that. Let's back out here for a second, though. I want to close these because I think it's going to slow me down if I... Let's check out the aftermath of that B-52 bombing real quick, because this is like take 3, and I think, man, I covered that stuff more on take 2, but like I'm saying, technical issues, guys. B-52 bombing aftermath. Iran. I mean, we could watch some missiles striking Israel too, man. But man, nobody wants to see that kind of crap. I kind of do, actually. We're gonna go watch that because explosions, of course. So that's an example of what a still. Okay, no, what it would look like, but I don't think that's scale to size, because how is that guy so small and then this guy over here that big? That's obviously a fake AI image made by a crazy ass guy. I just want to see like Iran just had to use submarine to launch Tomahawk cruise missiles. It seems that Fordo nuclear site has forever gone and put ashes. Wow, really? So these are Tomahawk cruise missiles that fired from a warship out there in the sea that the U.S. deployed strategically. So we have the Navy out there and we have the Air Force out there indefinitely just freaking wrecking Iran. And the Iranian military is just paralyzed, probably. Like, how do you stand up to that? Their only war effort and show of force has been mainly on the internet, sadly, with all this propaganda. It's crazy. Let's see what's going on. Definitely Iranian cameras, though. Wait a minute. This is Asia, bro. See, bro, you gotta be careful, bro. You gotta be careful, guys. I don't know, man. I don't know if that was legit. Y'all gotta be careful. Fordo is gone. Iran nuclear mission buried and burned. Before and after scenes of Iran's Fordo nuclear facility bombed by United States B-2 bombers. Let's see. What is this? Like weird. I mean, I guess that would be like impact site. The B-2 being deployed. So they went underground bunker buster style. I have to remember, like, these are bunker busters, guys. They go underground to explode. My thing is, though, I can't tell anymore where the freaking nuclear missile would have deployed from. I just cannot tell anymore. What is this? Depending on which reports listen to, the U.S. dropped each system has fallen nuclear sites pieces. A little chart over there. Oh, okay. A closer image of these holes where the bunker busters went inside. Man, that ground does look a freaking level, though. Like, it got. I wonder what happened to all the guys in there. They probably just got vaporized, crushed to death. Pressure, maximum pressure. Just, like, you gotta imagine, like, thing goes underground and it explodes. And that explosion, there's ground and material already in there. It's not just like there's walls and stuff, and like probably like an open facility, but there's really like there's no open air. So all that explosion, all that gas, and just that pressure from the blast just crushes everything on the inside, like, and the smoke and just burning. It's probably a horrible way to go. But you probably die real fast. So it's probably a quick death. Oh, wait. This is more like a more in depth look? Okay, yeah, okay. Possible bomb entry points, possible subsidence. Yeah. Sealed with dirt. Oh, okay. Yeah, so they did level that land, did come up because the dirt did come back up and cover those tunnel entrances. Damn, bro. Yeah. Bye bye. All right, now let's check out that blocked missiles and drones. Israel, Iran. I want to check out is Iran even still deploying them? Honestly, wow, I don't think we're gonna see anything recent. That's from April. April. Okay, so this is the one earlier video I saw. Sputnik. So you can see that not all the missiles get blocked. So you're gonna see damage, bro, like to Israel, like unfortunate damage that happens. But I think a lot of these people are already under the shelters. They've been there under a while, so they're pretty much safe from all this damage. I think very little casualties are being found in Israel. Some dark, chaotic stuff, guys. Yep. Snapshot image. That's crazy, man. We don't live in that because America has the best military in the world. We have the best of everything. We don't have to go through any of that. But there's really bad people out there that want to do this to America. Remember, the same people that are doing this to Israel said death to America. And that's what they've been saying for a while, too. So that could be us, man. I could be bombed that easily like that. Just chilling in my house. But it doesn't happen, because we don't let it happen. We live in a very great country, and I have some really amazing friends that decided to go be a part of a military that's extremely powerful. And, we have a society, and I have other friends that work in that society to help make it safe. I don't know if anybody's out there, preaching policy like I do, or truth. And every now and then. But, there's people out there, that want to make this country better and safer for us Americans. And there's people out there that don't appreciate this country and, they don't want this place to be better. They want to let in crazy people to do stuff like that. And that's a big no-no. One of the main big reasons why I started doing this podcast is get my voice out there, let you know what it's like for a guy down here in the borderlands living, just chilling out, in his apartment, just trying to get by and make his own living life. Just speak out against a lot of corruption that happens in this area too. Hopefully nobody comes knocking on the door one day about that. But if they do, I got 16 reasons for them to never come back. But anyways, back to the show. I mean, yeah, it's good to be American, guys. It's good to live in America. It's good. We can take care of this place and we vote for the right policies and get out some crazy ass Democrat ideas. But yeah. Let me see that video real quick. That's from April 2024, though, but this is kind of an example of what they go through, what they've been going through for years, guys. That's crazy. So I guess that's it for let me see if there's any latest developments. I mean, the only thing that's happened recently is Pete Hegseth has come to give a report on basically what happened with the B-2 bombing that we just looked at ourselves. But let me go to YouTube real quick and just see if anything's coming out in the latest news Israel-Iran war. Because I don't want to leave you guys, not without any details or anything not happening. Change history. Oh. I mean, really, that's just a recap of the bunker buster that was dropped. I mean, if I can't find anything, I'll just give you a little. I'll play that video for you guys from Vox News too. Basically, they explain. Jocko Willink. The boomers want war. Yeah, that's the Pete Hegseth giving the briefing after that attack that we just covered a while ago. So, I guess that video is, let's just go see real quick. You want to see where that, real quick, how that bunker buster works.
Are at the wall. They're going to give a deep dive into the 30,000-pound bombs that were designed to destroy deep underground targets.
Yeah, that's right, Rachel. And, as Joe and I are standing here, you can see we heard so much about Fordo, the bunker, the nuclear site that only the U.S. bomb, only U.S. airplanes could reach. Natanz, which has long been the main nuclear facility that we've heard so much about, that Israel began hitting hard. And Isfahan. Isfahan was significant, we knew, because that's where they manufactured centrifuges. That's where the scientists that were killed by the Israelis were working to enrich uranium. But we're learning now some new details this morning.
Yeah, so I think a few days or last week, I think he straight up assassinated or bombed the areas where the nuclear scientists were living, where they were explaining right now. total savage operations done by Israel. Well, I mean, man, kind of stuff happens when you're, yelling death to Israel and firing, 1,000 freaking missiles and drones over the past few years. Stuff like that will happen to you.
In some ways, even more so than Fordo.
Yeah, so the intel we have is that these 30,000-pound bunker bombers were all used in Fordo because of the distance into the ground and through the vents, kind of like the scene from Top Gun. But Isfahan being a place, erase all of their material wealth as far as what they've mined or what they've acquired and what they've enriched, but we can't erase the knowledge they've gained. And so you have to get as much of this as you can, because if the regime stays in power,
man, everybody's saying B-2 bomber. I've been saying B-52 bomber because I don't know why. I think I played too many damn video games. But yeah, I just wanted to
they have the opportunity to do this all over again, and that's kind of the big issue that we're discussing this morning. What do we have?
Let's show Fordo, and we can give you a little bit of a map of what we see here. Now, on this side, you can see the building that they were going after. There were entrances over there by where you're standing, Joey, of really the security perimeter and the way they were coming in and out. We know actually that there were, in 2 days before this strike, so 2 days ago, there were a number of trucks along that highway that may have been trying to remove something. We don't know. We're hoping to learn more about that this morning in a press conference in a few hours.
Yeah, so what they did is they targeted what we call vents. So if you're going to put something 300 feet under the ground, you have to have a way to basically have air come in and out. So you have vents, you have places where air comes in and out. And why would you bust through the concrete when you can bust through a hole that takes you down? And so I just want to point this out about the bomb. It's a 30,000-pound bomb. It's not 30,000 pounds of explosives. It's 5,300 pounds of net explosive weight, which means you've got more than 20,000 pounds of steel, and that's what's used to penetrate into the ground. It has to be designed in a certain way so that it doesn't fragment and splinter as soon as it hits something hard like the concrete. Once you get in there, it's such a contained space, you don't need a lot of explosives to do a lot of damage. To give you a little bit of a comparison, our Moab, mother of all bombs, that's 18,000 pounds of explosives. So nowhere near the same size of explosive weight, but just as much destruction.
Bottom line, that building, that nuclear site, we believe.
So I just heard that right. Basically what they described is that the mother of all bombs, which is basically like a basic nuke, is the same as one of the modern bunker busters we just used, the 30,000 pounder, does the same amount of damage underground. So yeah, oh man, you really gotta think about that, man. That's crazy. Because I was just thinking like, maybe an explosion that destroys 1.5 football fields. Now they're saying that this was basically a nuke underground. Not a nuke, but it was an explosive so powerful it mimicked nuke damage.
President Trump may have been obliterated.
Basically.
Yeah.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by
HP Headsec on the right and JD Mass on the left. I think that's Rubio.
by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
Crap,
Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
As the U.S. strikes 3 major nuclear sites in Iran.
So how did it all work? Decorated Navy fighter pilot Matthew Wiz Buckley served in Iraq, and he joins us now. Sir, as we look at this map, I mean, first, the question is, how did we pull it off? I mean, before we even get here, how do we pull it off? How do we have bombers reported all day long going west, and apparently now we know some for 36 hours went east. Can you speak to the OPSEC it took to do that just across our military?
Good morning.
I'm not gonna lie,
Joey, thank you for having me. Absolutely incredible demonstration of American military might and resolve. I'm a Navy guy, and I appreciated the Top Gun reference before the break there, but I do have to salute my sister service, the United States Air Force. God bless these airmen, 37-hour mission. Especially when you're exhausted. I can't imagine how these aviators did that. My longest flight in the F-18 was about 8 hours. And remember, folks, you're not sitting on an airline seat. They're sitting on an ejection seat, a hard seat for that long of a time. And they're not getting up to go to the bathroom. So incredible. Was locked down pretty tight, and there was even some deception involved with some bombers taken off in other directions. Yeah. So absolutely incredible operation.
Hey, Matthew, I just want to talk about, we heard so much about Fordo. This is
crazy stuff going on there. Wow, you know what, guys? Let me adjust the lighting real quick because I think we're gonna have a shady day out here today, a rainy day. Damn it, bro. I hate running out of dab oil. Do y'all hate running out of dab oil? I hate running out of dab oil. At least on one pen, not on all my pens. So that's that. Let's go check out this LA riots. Riot takedowns. Cause I'm petty, bro. I like some LA riot takedowns. Oh god. Oh buddy. Oh buddy, no. No, what are you doing with your life, son? If I remember correctly, I've seen this video. This happened like on week 1. This dude gets tackled by another dude. No, you don't hear my man out of. Oh, he ate that shit. He ate that shit, guys. He ate that shit. Man, they completely destroyed Los Angeles, man. You've seen the movies, bro. You've seen like Hollywood movies. You see how beautiful Los Angeles always looks. Look at that sign, man. They messed up that city, bro. We're gonna see how messed up this city looks in these videos, bro. But that's just sad, bro. These people that, supposedly, you're coming here to America, bro. You're coming here to make money, bro. You gotta respect this country, bro. You gotta love this country. I'm Mexican, bro, and I'm proud of my Mexican heritage. I'm pretty sure it's where I get my Muay Thai energy. I'm pretty sure I get that from my Mexican blood, but I'm proud of that. But it's like, I still live here in America. I still work here. I still take care of the people around here, bro. These are Americans. Like, I know Mexicans come here a lot, and I know a lot of my family's Mexican. Not that much love to y'all, but like, y'all got to understand something is, if you want something to be nice, you have to take care of it. And when you go over to somebody's house, you take care of their house. You know what I'm saying? We don't live in a pig's den. We don't live in no pig stack. We don't like people dying. It's not Mexico where you're pretty much already used to cartels abducting people and killing them. No, it's not like that here. I mean, there's a couple of situations that happen, accidents happen and whatnot. But those things, there's gangs and all that. We got our own problems. but we don't want their type of problems over there. In Mexico. I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. My family came. Half of my family came from Rio Bravo. I think half of my family was already here, Native American. I got the best of both worlds in me, guys. I'm sorry, but y'all need to chill with this stuff, man. It's not cool. I mean, you want to go out there and your jaws. You want to reset y'all. That's not cool. Now, a lot of these guys, bro, like you see this dude on the right, bro, he's just doing it for publicity, He's trying to get his content. I respect that. It's good content. But you got to be careful, man. When you're in the cops' way, bro, you can't just be in their way because they can either consider you a valid threat or you're just an obstacle in their way trying to get to the actual threat. There's some people out there committing murder. There's some people out there committing arson. Some very bad people out there. And unfortunately, these reporters, they get caught up in this stuff. Yeah, homeboy did not look like he was enjoying that tear gas. Look at that disrespected cop car, bro. That's crazy. Actively tagging a cop. Bro, actively tagging a cop car as they're driving by, bro. The level of disrespect, bro. That cop does not come out, bro, because he probably gonna get thrown something at his head, bro. That's probably the real reason why. Let's be honest. Ooh. See? And this is what happens when you attack cops. This is what Donald Trump does. Getting your ass kicked, bro, on the streets and being put on the internet, I just couldn't, bro. There's already a couple of like bad videos of me out there. I can't with those videos. I just could not imagine getting my ass dropped in public, bro, at a fence, and then getting that shit turned into a TikTok. Oh, the same dude who got taken down. Oh, you got shot in the face. I think everybody's seen this one too, but let's watch it. Let's watch it in depth. So he got shot in the face by a beanbag because he was up there throwing crap at the cops. Oh! Oh, retard. You deserve it. Look at it. All smug. You look like he's smiling too. You see you smiling now. Retard. What happened here? Ooh. Ooh. Soy boy getting tossed. Damn. Straight up using some kind of homeless chick as a shield, bro. When he has like armor, bro, this cop's just like, what kind of BS are you on, dog? And news reporter's like, oh, hell no, I'm getting the hell out of here, bro. Look at this dude. Oh, that's funny. Let's go back to that real quick. Exploding munitions. Ooh. Oh, see. My man's was too big to get away. So many people aren't fit enough to be out there, competing with cops. Just saying. That's another thing that's important to remember. Oh, this one's retarded. What a retard. Freaking with a Central American flag too, bro. Like I hate these dudes so much, bro. Oh man, dog. you give brown people a bad name, bro. Like there's gonna be some clown music to go with this video, bro. Because this dude is an absolute clown. Sorry, I can't watch that again. Fucking retarded. Dude, they're so dumb, bro. Like, oh god. Uh, what is this one going on? Man, this is all happening in 1 month, bro. Dude, this is fun. This is a weird month. Y'all can't forget, this is still June, bro. We got that war going on, bombings, Epstein files completely being shredded. We're not gonna forget that, man. We're not gonna forget the Epstein files. We're not gonna forget that Mexico's a communist freaking country and Sheinbaum is literally arresting Americans that speak out against her in Mexico. That's a legit thing that's happening right now. Yeah. Stay aware, guys. Stay very aware of things that are going on the sidelines too. Don't forget what's going on in California too. Probably some people in there making moves. Man, bro, that's just like the sheriff's department, I think, or the local police department. When the National Guard and military was deployed, bro, shit, bro, that shit was fun. Watching those guys work, chase the LA National Guard. No, it's not even the LA Marines. When the Marines got in there, bro, those riots quickly dissipated, bro. Because you just don't not mess with Marines, bro. They're not in the mood for any BS, bro. And some of them do it for fun. There's some sick dudes in there that just want to spread those cheeks in public. They'll do it with a smile, and you'll get manhandled. You better hope you get one that wants to beat you. Because the ones that want to grab you are the ones you should be afraid of. But yeah, as soon as Trump deployed the military in there, those riots kind of died. There really wasn't much. Yep. You get overpowered, bro. Yeah, bro, you're getting pushed back. You're not doing those guys. Oh, that dude got shot in the face. Yeah, you got shot in the face, brother. Look at that boy. Not fun. Oh man, look at that mustache. Oh man. Not today. That's a military mustache. Oh man, one thing you gotta know about Marines, man, it's gonna happen real fast. Yeah, you see it coming, bro. Like, bro, these dudes do not these skinny dudes, bro. They're skinnier than me, bro, and they're not. They think they know a thing or two about fighting, bro. No, no, it's not happening, bro. It's not happening. Not even with one, bro. Like, let alone you got a whole squad on you, bro. You're screwed, bro. You're gonna get your ass taken down.
In arrest right now.
Dude, that is like you're under control, dog. You got this freaking dog pile.
It's gonna get worse if you keep that bullshit up. He must have assaulted the soldier somehow.
It's important to remember that I think the Marine groups that they deployed, they're particularly stationed there in California, Northern California. So, I think on their free time, they go down to Los Angeles, and I think they're pretty pissed off with what they see, A lot of these guys are pretty pissed off. Like, you're destroying one of my cities type of pissed off. TikTok video. Did you vote for this? I damn right did. I damn right did. I think this is what? Military police? National Guard? All fun and games till you get your ass kicked. This video. It's fun. That's a scene from, I believe, Apocalypto, when the Spanish naval fleet pulls up on their turf, and if you know anything about history, they're completely outmatched. This is when they take over Central America. That's funny. So they're basically making a comparison of the rioters to the Marines. Was the National Guard. Marines detained 31 insurrectionists in Los Angeles. Wow. I saw this video. I wonder if I could find it again. It's an officer beating the crap out of a guy. Man, the Marines are still there on June 16th.
What skill you trying to get in the Marines?
They just go up to these Marines and they just spout spiteful nonsense, trying to shame them. But this is exactly what they trained for, to stop reckless people like this guy from trying to destroy the country from the inside. There's not just threats from the outside, there's also threats from the inside. Pretty sure done and over with. Man. Oh, this was by June 11th. There really wasn't much going on then. Yeah, I mean, not much going on, guys. Seems pretty peaceful in LA now. The verbal onslaught. Yep. Yep, no new activity. As you can see in the last video, it kind of dissipates. They're really not wanting to stand up to these guys. Don't want to. Don't want that problem. Let's go. Dang, that one lady though, being the guy with the cop. Let's see. If I can find that video real quick. LA police force. Tax rioter. Because you want, I told you I'd show you that video if I could find it. Yeah. This is fun. This is the one. Use for the video. If you want to go check them out on YouTube, if you want to see this video more direct yourself on media right there. Yeah, so I first saw this on Twitter like 2 weeks ago. Dude tries to touch the horse. You don't touch the horse. Don't ever touch a cop's horse. You do not want to do that. Unless you're like absolutely given permission to not do that. During these times, you really don't want to do that. Because he's just going to assume you're trying to take him off his horse, which is probably what this rioter was trying to do. And so he paid a very messed up price. Now, I do not know what the hell they hit him with, but I know it's not like an iron weapon. It's more like a baton style weapon. I just don't know what the hell it's called. But this guy definitely got what was coming to him for trying to touch the horsey. Bunked him. Get back, get back, get back. And there she is. Female officer. Yep. I mean, don't play with the horse. They sure did learn. You know. As for local monkey business, I'm not gonna go over it today, guys. I want to keep this recording pretty much two topics only. Basically, what's going on in Israel and Iran war. We're at a stalemate now. We're just waiting to see what Iran does. I mean, their military has been almost completely incapacitated. And then we got that intel that apparently there was people within their own military betraying them. So I think they're just crumbling now. It's up to the people within Iran already for themselves to go and overthrow those people and get them kicked out, execute them, do whatever you got to do. Whatever Iranians believe, it's up to their business how they handle it. But yeah, get those bad people out and just start all over. That's what we're hoping happens. The world is waiting and seeing. But man, so much happened within this month. Just those two topics. So much content, so much going on within June, man. That's crazy. Whole July is a lot more peaceful, man. Independence Day is coming up. trying to, just shoot my gun in peace outside, not try and shoot people, I want to shoot my gun for fun, not for defense. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for tuning in. And this has been episode 26 of the 956 Opposition. We call it FAFO, F around and find out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be safe out there. Leave me some comments, any questions or anything. I'll know how to get to me. Thank you very much.